In 1991, a team of hikers in the Ötztal Alps, located on the border between Austria and Italy, stumbled upon a discovery that would rewrite the history books. They found a well-preserved mummy of a man frozen in the ice, a discovery that would go on to be one of the most significant archaeological finds of the 20th century. This man, later named Ötzi the Iceman, was estimated to have lived around 5,300 years ago, making him one of the oldest mummies ever discovered. But the intrigue surrounding Ötzi's discovery didn't end with his historical significance. Over time, a dark and mysterious pattern began to emerge. Shortly after Ötzi was discovered, a series of deaths and misfortunes befell several individuals who had been involved in or had come into close contact with the Iceman and his remains. What started as a strange coincidence soon became known as the Curse of the Iceman. This supposed curse has captivated people's imaginations, and to this day, it remains a chilling element of the Ötzi discovery. The deaths and strange events that followed led many to speculate. Was there a supernatural force at work? Or was there something more sinister behind these tragic occurrences? The first tragic death linked to Ötzi's discovery occurred just months after the mummy was found. Rainer Henn, a member of the team that had initially uncovered Ötzi, was involved in the first examination of the remains. In 1992, Henn was killed in a car accident in the same region where Ötzi had been found. It was a bizarre twist of fate, but it didn't stop there. The next person to meet an untimely demise was Helmut Simon, the hiker who first discovered Ötzi's body. In 2004, Simon tragically died while hiking in the very same mountains where he had made his famous discovery. Some argued that the curse had claimed another victim. As the years went on, more and more strange deaths and accidents followed those connected to Ötzi's discovery. The next man believed to be caught in the curse's grip was a forensic pathologist named Dr. Kurt Witthöft, who had been responsible for overseeing Ötzi's autopsy. Witthöft was found dead under mysterious circumstances in 2004, his body found in his home with no obvious signs of foul play. Many began to wonder if these were simply tragic accidents, or if something more sinister was at hand. Was it possible that Ötzi's discovery had unleashed a malevolent force? And if so, what could be the explanation for such an eerie series of events? Then, there was the case of Professor Tom Loy, an American scientist who had been involved in studying Ötzi's remains. In 2005, Loy, who had worked extensively on the Iceman's DNA, died in an unexpected accident. Although his death was ruled an accident, many people couldn't ignore the growing pattern. Could this string of untimely deaths be merely coincidental, or was it the result of a curse tied to the ancient mummy who had been preserved for millennia? The more the deaths piled up, the more the rumors of the curse intensified. For many, the deaths surrounding Ötzi felt too strange to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Some began to believe that the Iceman's curse was the result of a deeper, more sinister force, one that had been unleashed by disturbing the resting place of someone long dead. The question of whether Ötzi himself had somehow cursed those who came into contact with him has lingered in the minds of many. After all, Ötzi's discovery disrupted the ancient peace of his resting place, and it could be that the forces at work were as ancient as the mummy himself. Others, however, argue that the so-called curse is simply a myth, a sensationalized story that grew over time as more deaths were linked to the Iceman's discovery. They point to the scientific advancements made as a result of studying Ötzi's remains and argue that these deaths are nothing more than tragic events, each with natural causes. But as the years pass, the lore surrounding Ötzi only grows, and the idea of a curse becomes increasingly hard to ignore for those who are fascinated by the eerie coincidences. Despite the controversies surrounding the so-called curse, Ötzi continues to provide invaluable insights into the distant past. His mummified remains have been studied extensively, revealing details about his diet, his life, and the brutal conditions he faced. With every new finding, scientists gain a clearer picture of life during the Copper Age. But the tragic deaths that have followed Ötzi's discovery serve as a constant reminder of the mystery that surrounds this ancient figure. Whether you believe in the curse or not, the deaths connected to the Iceman have cast a long, unsettling shadow over the discovery. As the decades pass, the legend of the curse of the Iceman endures. People continue to discuss the strange series of events tied to Ötzi's discovery, and many still wonder if those who come into contact with the ancient mummy will suffer the same fate. The question remains, is it a curse, or is it simply an eerie pattern of coincidences that has captured the public's imagination? Whatever the answer, the mystery surrounding Ötzi the Iceman will undoubtedly continue to intrigue and haunt those who dare to study him. The tale of Ötzi's curse took another bizarre turn in 2009 when a journalist named Francesco Malgeri, who had covered the Iceman's discovery extensively, became the latest victim of what some believe is the curse. Malgeri, who had spent years investigating the mysterious events surrounding Ötzi, tragically passed away from a sudden illness. Though there was no direct link between Malgeri's death and the Iceman himself, the timing of his passing raised eyebrows. Some speculated that the curse was still at work, reaching into the lives of those who dared to seek the truth about Ötzi. In addition to these untimely deaths, several individuals involved in the ongoing research into Ötzi's remains have faced severe accidents or health problems. Dr. Hannes Gross, a prominent archaeologist who had worked with Ötzi's remains, suffered a serious car accident in the late 1990s. Though he survived, some wondered if this was yet another sign of the so-called curse at work. And in 2005, Dr. Albert Zink, who had been leading a team studying Ötzi's DNA, fell seriously ill during a critical stage of the project. Though he recovered, his near-death experience only seemed to reinforce the eerie notion that there was a dark force attached to the Iceman. Despite the mounting death toll and bizarre events surrounding Ötzi's discovery, the Italian and Austrian authorities have never officially acknowledged any connection between the so-called curse and the string of misfortunes. Skeptics argue that these deaths and accidents are just part of the tragic randomness of life. They point out that the individuals involved in the Iceman's discovery were part of a small, tightly knit community, and such misfortunes are bound to strike in close circles over time. Yet, the eerie consistency of the events has led many to wonder whether something more is at play. Beyond the deaths, there have been other strange occurrences linked to Ötzi's remains. The Iceman's body has been subjected to extensive study, with scientists taking great care in preserving his remains. Yet a curious fact remains. Ötzi has never been fully restored to his original burial site, which was disturbed by the discovery. Some believe that this disruption, coupled with the fact that Ötzi was a man who likely met a violent end, is the root of the curse. His death, which occurred in a brutal manner, likely from an arrow wound, leaves a lingering question. Could it be that his spirit, or a force tied to his ancient life, is seeking retribution for the intrusion into his final resting place? As more people have come forward with their own theories about the curse, the legend of Ötzi has only grown. Some even argue that the curse is not simply the result of chance or tragic coincidence, but that there may be something deeply spiritual or supernatural involved. Could Ötzi's spirit, preserved in ice for over 5,000 years, carry with it the echoes of an ancient anger, one that punishes those who disturb him? The more stories emerge, the more the lines between myth and reality begin to blur, creating a tale that captivates and terrifies in equal measure. As we look back on the story of Ötzi and the deaths linked to his discovery, we are left with more questions than answers. Was it the curse of an ancient man whose life and death have remained a mystery for millennia? Or was it a tragic series of coincidences that have become entwined with the legend of the Iceman? Only time will tell if the curse of Ötzi will ever be fully understood. But one thing is for certain: the mystery of the Iceman will continue to captivate the world for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this chilling exploration into the curse of the Iceman. Stay curious, and remember, sometimes the past is never truly buried. It waits, frozen, in the shadows of history. Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.